All right, quick Google Ads rant, right? Now, if you look at data at face value, you need to be careful, right? This is actually came from today. Had a client of mine, first month. Trust is still being earned, trust is still being built. But one of the main things is you need to be very transparent with results. How do they improve? You're being tested a lot within the first 1 to 3 months of a new relationship with the client, right? Which you should be. If I was hiring someone else, I want results to be very good and transparent with communication and stuff. That's why it's always, good to go the extra mile in terms of what's happening, staying current with your clients or your partner, and kind of going from there. But what I want to talk about today is actually a situation where in the first month data spent a lot more money and got only a little bit bump in conversions. I think we spent about double the actual ad spend compared to the first month or the previous month without us. But then we actually only had like 4% or 5% more revenue and I think only 10% more conversion. So as a whole, the efficiency looked like it dropped. The CAC rose, I think, double. So it looks awful, right? Until you actually look at the data and what is actually being inside. Now, any marketing agency or Google Ads person can scale your brand campaigns, your brand keywords, which there's a time and a place for that, but there's also time and place to not really worry about brand stuff and focus on getting new customers, getting growth, right? That's the whole goal of any marketing agency. Should be getting new customers at a efficiency rate where it's profitable for the brand or the client that you're working with, right? And taking a look into the data, we actually started seeing, hey, we spent about 34% less on brand, and we made up and improved our revenue and conversions with all those previous conversions of revenue from brand in the previous month that we're not spending on anymore. So we actually about 40 or 50%, it was about double the conversions on cold from the previous month because we started getting those conversions from the cold campaigns and started spending a lot more money for the new customers, right? So that's a very crucial aspect of, when you're managing campaigns. Don't go to your overview or your campaign page and just take it at face value. You need to segment and look at the data, look at the time periods, see what campaigns are contributing the most to your growth, to returning traffic stuff, and all that good stuff. So I want to make a quick video talking about don't take everything at face value. Make sure you investigate any sort of data and make sure it tells a correct story, or look at all the potential stories that you have in there and kind of see, okay, what's the actual story? How can you communicate that with the client or your CMO or your CEO if you're working for an in-house brand? Make sure you take a look at many different views of the data and actually see what the actual story is, not just a blank month-over-month comparison. When, especially at this time of the year in January, right? Your January performance in most of the cases, unless you're in the health and fitness industry, is pretty bad compared to December or November when the consumer and the buying cycle is way up, right? And I heard a great quote from Sean Frank, who's the owner and CEO of Ridge Wallets, say on Twitter yesterday, saying, if January is looking better than your December or your November, you underspent in those crucial periods. And I think that's a great quote, and often something I think people forget when they do month-to-month comparisons when it's against a very buying-heavy season like Black Friday, like Christmas, right? And it's a good thing to think about. So I just want to take a quick moment and tell you guys that, and hopefully this helps you in some way when you're reporting or thinking about how your data looks.